Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting episode of Ask the Culpeppers. Today, I'll be dealing with a husband that is also a stay-at-home dad, and he is sick and tired of people giving him flack about staying at home. Sounds very interesting to me. So, without further ado, I'm all mic'd up. The announcer is ready. Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of Ask the Culpeppers. This show is sponsored by The Baby Spot CA Digital Global Parenting Magazine, the only global parenting magazine offering a variety of product reviews and written material empowering parents all over the world. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the show.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to this awesome episode of Ask the Culpeppers. So we got a question in today, and it goes as follows. My name is Dan, and I am a stay-at-home dad, and I am sick of getting flack from other people. My wife is proud of her career and loves to work, and I am tired of people coming to me and saying that maybe I should just get a job. I am proud to be a stay-at-home dad, but the world seems against it. I have done some research, and in other countries, this is not even an issue. Am I making a mistake? Dan. Ladies and gentlemen, when I read this question that came from our editing team in Canada, I said to myself, actually, I am very, 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 very proud of Dan being a stay-at-home dad. If you look at statistics across our country, and in many parts of the world, mainly the United States, in my opinion, a lot of dads are absent. They have no dealings with their children, not even claiming them, not even spending time with them, yet alone being a stay-at-home dad. So the question you might have is, what is a stay-at-home dad? How is a stay-at-home dad defined? So I took a look at this, and athomedad.org defines a stay-at-home dad this way. A stay-at-home dad is a noun. A father who is the daily primary caregiver of his children under age 18. His role is not defined by his employment status. Thought that was very interesting, because in our world today, if you see a dad with his kids not working or staying at home, all kind of assumptions may come out. All kind of thoughts may come out. You know, he's lazy. Why is he not working? A man that don't work shouldn't eat, so on and so forth. Beating people up with scripture, if you will. But this particular dad stated in his question that his wife is proud of her career and what she's doing. So to me, it seems like they have an understanding of who is doing what. So I took a look at something on Pew. The Pew Research Center said this, that said that in September of 2018, more than 11 million U.S. parents, or 18%, were working outside the home in 2016. According to a new Pew Research Center analysis of U.S. Census Bureau, as a result, 17% of all stay-at-home parents in 2016 were fathers. That was up from 10% in 1989. So the point is, more fathers are starting to stay at home with their children, which I believe truly is a blessing. Because if you can financially handle it, and you and the wife are in agreement, I don't see a problem with a dad being a stay-at-home dad. As a matter of fact, that's what I am right now, because I'm in transition between careers as we speak. So I stay at home while yet searching for a job. But however, I am not against dads staying at home with their children. As long as the children are cared for, and as long as y'all have an agreement, whatever it takes to make your house work, go for it. And what I mean by that is, kids need their dad. They need both parents, but they certainly need dad. And when you have a dad that's willing to be there, that actually creates a better environment for the child. As long as the dad is wholesome. I'm not talking about some some idiot or some fool or somebody that's unwise keeping kids, teaching them devious things. But I'm talking about a father that generally cares and is doing positive and productive things with their child. So he went on to say that he's getting a lot of flack from people, right? So it looks like it's other people in his business. Y'all know how folks do. They want to take their assumption when they see you doing specific things or they see you in a certain space, they want to have their own assumptions and their own opinions. So then you can politely tell those people to mind their own business. And if you have to cut ties with some people that are bringing you down behind it, you might have to do just that then. So you don't have to get a job. If you and your wife are satisfied with what you're doing, you don't have to get a job. So let's take a look at this here. The second largest country in the world is Canada. Canada provides universal health care for maternity leave and paternity leave. Now, you have mentioned that you've done some research and other countries don't even have an issue with this. Now, in the United States, we don't have universal health care here. And only 5 states offer paid time off for maternity or paternity leave. As we speak now, 5 states. I think it's maybe New York, New Hampshire, Washington, D.C., and there's 2 more that does it. And there's a small percentage of U.S. companies that even offer paid time off for fathers. So in places like Canada that have universal health care, and places like Europe, it's pretty common for a dad to stay home. I don't know what their crime and all of that is like, but I know the U.S. statistics are terrible when it comes to fathers spending time with their kids and being in the home. And so, other countries do have, do support that. I'm going to be honest, I don't think our country in the United States does. I don't think they do a good job of supporting it. So next, what we're going to do is I'm going to hear from the web. We're going to get a word from our sponsors, and then we're going to hear what some other people got to say about this issue. Don't go away. Stay tuned.
Hi, this is Greg, owner of Right Sound VoiceWorks. If your project or company needs a voice for promotion, I've got years of experience and I can produce audio tracks for you quickly from my home studio. Send an email to rightsound@wildblue.net or check my demos by going to voices.com and searching Right Sound, one word. I'd be happy to work up an example for you. Thanks for listening.
Welcome back, folks, as we get ready to conclude this episode of Ask the Culpeppers. So if you're just now joining in, there is a man named Dan that said he's tired of people giving him flack because he's a stay-at-home dad, his wife enjoys her career, and he's just sick of people getting in his business trying to tell him that he needs to get a job. So what I decided to do was go to the web, and I wanted to pose this question to some of our viewers. And so there are some of the responses that I got. One of the first ones that I received was from Mr. Howard Sauceman. And he says these words: as long as the husband keeps the God-ordained role as spiritual head of the family, and both husband and wife are 100% invested in the success of the household, it matters little where the check come from. Thank you, Howard. And I agree 100%. Second comment came in from Cheryl Spanky. She said this: if both parties agree 100% to this arrangement, it's okay. Some dads are better suited for this. An arrangement needs to be worked out beforehand as to the household duties and chores. She says mom can't be expected to work and do all the chores she once did. The key is to plan and both be in agreement. After a period of time, look at what is working and what needs to be adjusted to a more equitable arrangement. Thank you, Cheryl Spanky, for those words. Then we have Jason Campbell, that's in Washington, and he said this: I'm lucky enough to have this title. He says it's a lot of work, but it's worked well for our family. I was a latchkey kid, and that was fine for the world I grew up in, but there is something to be said for having a parent not only home with the kids, but also present for assemblies, awards, concerts, and plays. Amen. And then the other comment I have is from Sabrina Combs. And Sabrina said this. She said, if it's feasible for your family, then go for it. But just know that you still may get the side eye from people. She says, but that's not paying your bills, so who cares? And I agree 100%. Tell people to get lost. And the last comment I have is from Brenda Stamper. And Brenda says this. She says, I think the lines for many of our roles have become blurred with the passage of time, and that's generally a very good thing. She says, I believe marriage is a partnership and kids need traditional things a mom and dad teach them. I don't think it matters if it's a man teaching the mom stuff or a woman teaching dad stuff. If it's possible for either parent to be at home, that's great no matter who it is. She went on to say that I got divorced when my kids were 9 and 13. So I became mom and dad. Not as good as two people in a good partnership, but better than being raised in a broken home. She says, I have hope for a future where the lines are blurred enough that we will think it is weird to ask if we think it's okay to be a stay-at-home dad. She says, just like in the 60s, the big question was, do we think it's okay for a mom to work outside the home? She says, keep up the good work, Derek. You always make me think. So Dan, in closing, listen, kindly tell people to mind their own business. If a man wants to be a stay-at-home dad and the kids are cared for, the family is cared for, the wife is okay with that, I don't see a problem with it. So be sure, Dan, just boost your own self-esteem. Continue to know that you're doing a good job. Be an advocate for other fathers that want to stay at home. As long as you and your wife on the same sheet of music, as my friend Frank McCall would say, then that's all that matters. All right, folks. Thank y'all for watching this episode of Ask the Culpeppers, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.
Well, folks, we hope you enjoyed this informative and exciting episode. Be sure to follow the Baby Spot and Ask the Culpeppers on your favorite social media platforms and enjoy previous shows. This is Greg with Right Sound VoiceWorks, and so long from the Black Hills of South Dakota. See you next time, folks.